Willie, mercy, baby. This is Shaska Willie. You're listening to Broken Kayfabe with Frankie Seabreeze and Ariel Bologna and Cheese Sandwich. They're like Coca-Cola. They're all over, baby, on whatever network that you find it on, baby. This is Navy SEAL Body Guy, and you are listening to Broken Kayfabe with Frankie Seacrest, Ariel Agbalog, and the Brothership. Now that half-wit, Shaska Willie, better not step on this, or I will step on him, Jack. This is Redneck Steve. You're listening to Broken Kayfabe with Ariel Agbalog, Frankie Seacrest. Flap their gums about anything that they want, putting some steak on it. Oh, hell yeah.
Welcome to Broken Kayfabe, the unofficial after show of Breaking Kayfabe with Baldrin and Barry, the only podcast that features members of a Facebook group. Ariel, how are you doing?
Yo, Frankie! How are you?
That was tremendous.
That was annoying, wasn't it?
Yes, no,
sorry.
that was great. No, was
I'm not
great.
Gonna do it anymore.
I've always wondered, what is that sound?
I don't know. It's an app on my phone. It's called, what is it called? It's DJ horn.
Okay, all right.
Or hip hop horn. It's a horn of some sort. I don't know what it's officially called, but yeah, it's
I love
one of
it.
those things.
I love it. I really do.
I'll probably add that once in a while into the intro of our podcast.
That was great. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, because I was kind of like, will he like it? Will he not? So I was on the fence with it. So yeah.
Man, I'm excited about this show. We are going to talk about the CWF Legends Fanfest. We are also going to talk about some things discussed on Breaking Kayfabe with Baldrin and Barry, such as the Red Robin menu and secret restaurant menus. Are you excited for this?
I am very excited for this.
Cool. Let's get going.
But as far as I go in California, I'm doing great. The weather is nice. It's going to get a little bit warmer later, but there's no cloud. There's not a cloud in the sky as far as I can tell. Slight breeze. The weather is nice right now. It might get up to I guess the 90s or lower 90s. But yeah, everything's nice right now. How about you?
Oh man, that's great. Oh well, I am health wise, I am much better place than I was a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little procedure there at the VA, a little what they like to call the nuclear stress test.
And what is that actually?
Well, so what they do is they give you an IV, and they take some pictures of your heart and through some type of machine that is, you might be a little claustrophobic if you got in it, right? Mm-hmm. But it's sort of you lay on a table and they raise you up to it, and the thing that takes the pictures is kind of shaped like an upside down V over you, right? So it's like you're in a metal tent that's really close to your face, and it rotates around, and it takes 11 minutes to do it. So they take a picture of your heart at rest, and then they give you you either do exercise or they can give you a drug to simulate exercise, which they gave me the drug. It was something called like Lexiscan or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do an EKG and blood pressure and all that good stuff. And then you wait a little bit, and then they take a picture of your heart after exercise, and they're looking for any blockages or problems or whatever. So when they put that Lexiscan or whatever that vasodilator. And when they put that in, it is a really, really weird feeling. Like I sort of had trouble breathing. It sort of felt like somebody was squeezing my heart. But, my heart rate went up, my blood pressure went up. And you do that for 4 minutes. And then you go and you wait like 20 minutes and they bring you back in and they scan it afterwards. And they did 2 scans. They did a scan the second time with me on my back, and then they had me flip over on my stomach. So the whole process took about 2 hours.
And wow. So in the beginning, you said that they take your heart scan when it's resting, right?
Yep.
Then that's with all the contraption like right next to you and all that stuff, or
yes,
or you're in that. How do you remain calm? Or, I mean, I would probably have anxiety, and that would probably spike my blood, my heart rate up.
Yeah. So when they're taking a picture of your heart, they're not measuring any heart rate, or they're not measuring any blood pressure or anything like that. They're just getting a picture of your heart before exercise, and then they take a picture after exercise. And they asked me if I would be claustrophobic, and I said no. And it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was, and because it's not at your face, had it been like up over your face, it was like at my chest level or chin level. If it had been like in my face and that's all you could see, I probably would have been a little nervous.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I was thinking, but that's right. It was like chest level because it was taking pictures of your heart, right? So
yes, yep.
Okay, yeah, and that's not as bad as if it were like right in your face,
Yeah. Ariel, have you had the opportunity to listen to this week's Broken Kayfabe with Baldwin and Barry?
Yes, I have. Why do you ask?
Well, I'd like to talk about some things they mentioned on it.
Sure.
Do you have anything that you'd like to talk about that they mentioned on it?
Let's see. Well, the top 10 British wrestlers of all time, but
okay, we can get to that. But before we do, I did want to talk about the CWF Legends Fanfest. I saw a Facebook post where Gangrel is not going to be able to attend, but tonight at 7 p.m. there will be a substitute made, and it will be announced online, probably in the CWF Fanfest group, and then in the Broken Kayfabe with Bowdger and Barry group. And if you're not a member of the Broken Kayfabe with Bowdger and Barry Facebook group, I don't know how you found this podcast, but we thank you for all 5 stars that we have on Apple, the Apple Store for our podcast. Yeah. We thank all of those 5 listeners for giving us 5 stars. We would give you 1,000,000 stars if we could rate you. The Fan Fest, where we get a new guest coming tonight. Super excited about that. But let me just mention the Fan Fest once again, and I want to give everyone an update of where we are with the donors. And if you're not familiar with what in the heck I'm talking about, I am talking about my wife and I bring a person to the Fan Fest. And this year, so we pay out of our pocket for one person to fly here. Usually there's no one that's applied that's close enough to drive. So we pay for someone to fly here. And a hotel room, we give them $50 a day for spending or eating money. We know that the Brothership likes to eat, so usually that's probably where that goes. Lastly, we give you a ride back to the hotel, and we have done that the last 2 Fan Fests. This Fan Fest, I said that if the Brothershipers wanted another person to come, then they could we'll take donations, and my wife and I will arrange the travel and coordinate giving the money and the hotel room and whatever. And so the Brothershipers seemed like they were interested in it. And right now, I believe that we are up to about $880, and it's going to take $1,000. So without sounding like a televangelist, we've got, about 120 to go. So if you have $5, $10, $15, $20, or maybe you're a secret millionaire. You ever heard that line before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Well, if maybe you're a secret millionaire and you don't want to give it to another podcast, then you can help pay for a brother shipper to come to the CWF Legends Fanfest. And I'll just say quickly, because we've talked about a ton, that it was a life-changing event for me. And I think it's the same for a lot of people. It is a good time with great people. And we are really looking forward to doing it again and helping get another brother shipper there. Last year we were supposed to bring 2 people, and then at the last minute, one of the guys that we were bringing had a medical emergency and could not attend. So we were a little sad about that. However, we are glad that we are going to try it once again with 2 people. And so if you've got somebody that you want to help get a person here, then you can look on the Facebook group and you can see how to get it to me. Basically, you can send it to me Cash App. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, you can just email me at 233-0186@gmail.com. And I'll message you back and tell you how you can help out. I was incorrect. We are at $855. So we need $145 more to bring one more brother shipper. So anybody that has, and we'll take any donation. But what I am doing is if you donate more than $10, I'm sending you out something from my personal collection.
So do you have enough to cover many donations that are over $10?
What do you mean?
For your from your collection?
Oh yeah. I've got tons. So we've had 13 donations total, and it's up to $855.
Wow, that's very impressive. That's awesome.
Yeah, we are super excited. I'm glad that we've got this many. But we're 145 short of our goal to bring another brother shipper. So I am hoping that in this next week that we can hit that goal. I know that some people are waiting for their next check, and some people are waiting for the first of the month. But look, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be the $145, $5, $10, and we could get it there, nickel and dime it. So I'm very grateful that we have had the amount of love shown and the people that have helped us out so far.
Well, either way, it's great that the brother shippers can come together and pitch in to send another brother shipper out to the CWF Legends Fanfest. So either way, it's a win-win.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that giving money changed my life. I know I said that about the brothership, and it seems like I'm minimizing whatever, all these life-changing things. But there was a time in my life when I didn't have a whole lot, and I found it in my budget to give to people who were needier than me. And it made me look at myself and other people's situations and say, damn, there's a lot of people that are worse off than me, so I should be helping them out. And that changed my life.
That's great. I've told I've told my girlfriend and my mom that you're like one of the most generous people I know. And that being said, if you'd like to give me money, you can go ahead and you can change your life that way. Living in California costs too damn much.
No, I'd rather give you shit you can't use, like wrestling tights.
Well, you know what? That's probably sometime in the future. If I make it to the CWF Legends Fanfest, we could, form a tag team, and or in the bedroom with my girlfriend, do some role playing. Never mind. That's too. One day.
Well, you and your girlfriend could do the role play, and then just please don't video it or share it.
No, I won't.
Yeah,
not for free, at least.
Put it behind the paywall.
Money here. You don't pay me for this. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I don't care for that. But I I'm still looking for boots and possibly a cape and maybe some face makeup that won't, damage my skin. I don't know. I don't know if there's.
Man,
I'm not good
that
at
might
these
be
things.
the most California thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
What, looking for like skin friendly
Yeah,
face
yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what? I have to think about these things, I don't want to, like, I'm 41 years old. I don't want to develop some sort of like skin problem at my age. So I'm just trying to, like, look at me. I'm a handsome guy. What can I say?
That's true. That's true.
No, but I'm off on a tangent, so I'm sorry. But yes, brother shippers, thank you for the ones that donated. Thank you. And we have what, 145, 155.
145 left.
145 left. Let's reach the goal. Let's get another brother shipper out there, and yeah, let's do it, everybody.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, Ariel, I think now would be a great time to go to a conversation that we had with brother shippers, Jason D'Agostino, William Meriwether, and Michael Herrick. And I don't know. I may play the whole thing or I might play half of it. We'll see, depending on how long this episode ends up being. Hey everyone, it's Frankie, and I am pleased to be joined by three of my favorite brother shippers. Our first guest comes in at nearly 7 feet tall. He's responsible for nearly 1/3 of all Bigfoot sightings in New York. And this dude is so tall, he puts the upstate in upstate New York. William Meriwether.
Hey.
Also today, we have a guy who not only has his own podcast, but this guy's got 3 of them, including Philly Baseball Together and the Not Another Sports Podcast. Welcome, Jason D'Agostino.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're also joined by one of the most popular brother shippers and one of the nicest guys on the internet, because we all know there's a bunch of creepers out there. He's not afraid to put a brother over, and he's always willing to help a brother out. Welcome, Michael Herrick.
How's it going, guys?
Well, this is the first, as I just said about less than a minute ago, for me, of having 3 of us on. And so this should be exciting. And the topic just came out of nowhere. The topic of, anybody want to tell us what the topic is?
Fast food.
Fast food. Oh, man, we have all eaten it. And you guys have been talking about it for a while. And this was the topic that you chose. So I'm really happy to have you on here. Who wants to start us off with some fast food talk?
I think we got to defer to the guy who came up with the idea for this.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I've got this. That's the point of having extra people on here. Then I don't have to talk as much.
That's my line. You just stole my line. That being said, I'm going to lay out a bunch because I even when I talk to somebody, I just talk way too damn much and tell all my stupid stories and jokes and whatever. So if I lay out, no one say, Frankie, why are you quiet? It's because I want you guys to do the talking and you guys to interact, and I don't want to bulldog the conversation. Michael Herrick, you grew up out in the Midwest. You still live out in the Midwest.
Yep.
What were some of your favorite fast food restaurants when you were growing up?
When I was a kid, my favorite fast food restaurant was Hardee's, by far. They had just a different selection than all of your other burger places had. And we only had McDonald's, Wendy's, Hardee's, a KFC, a Rax roast beef, and a Dairy Queen when I was a kid. I didn't experience Taco Bell until I was, I don't know, 13, 14.
Oh well, let's stop right there. Jason, how old were you when you experienced Taco Bell?
5. And I can tell you why I remember this.
Oh, tell me, please.
It was when the Batman movie came out with Michael Keaton, and Taco Bell was doing a promotion with it, and I can remember my dad getting the big collector's cup that came with the meal. That's how I remember it.
Nice.
Oh wow. What about you, William? What was your first memory of Taco Bell?
Boy, I probably show you on the dial where Taco Bell touched me. Probably about 10, because kind of like Mike, we really didn't have, even though I'm in New York, it's like upstate New York, so it's funny when I see people talk about all these fast food places that I really haven't had the pleasure of trying. I mean, I tried to try everything, and I'm one of those guys like that meme going around like, if we're going on vacation, we ain't eating the places that we have at home, because I like to try.
Exactly.
Yeah, and probably about 10 though, because we didn't really get a Taco Bell till I was a little older too. I know I might have had one like traveling a little further away. I might have tried it, but I think officially, like locally, I think it opened up around 10. And I never looked back. Doritos Locos, baby.
Yeah, I was in the military, so I was much older, because we didn't have any that were near me. So I was probably, let's say, 19 before I discovered it, and I loved it. Let me see if I can remember my order I used to get, because I used to get the same stuff every time. 2 soft taco supremes, either a chilito, not a chilito, or a chili cheese burrito, and then a beef Mexi melt, and I always got a side of sour cream, and my drink was a sweet tea. And then as I got older, I switched to the unsweet and sweetened it myself. Got to watch those cows. That was what I used to eat with the Taco Bell, and I did that for years.
Yeah, I got a Taco Bell order too. I usually get 3 tacos. Now they have the Doritos ones; they're really good. But I usually get 3 taco supremes and a steak burrito supreme. Now I've been dieting. I did cheat a little bit the other day, last week, and I got 3 of the Doritos Locos tacos. I'm not proud of myself, but I also got the steak burrito bowl, which is like the new thing they're doing, which sounds kind of lame, like they're not using the tortilla anymore. But they throw some extra stuff in, so you don't feel quite as stupid for paying the same amount of money without a tortilla.
Well,
Nice.
when I came down to Florida, they didn't have the Mexi melts here, so maybe they've discontinued them everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they did.
it's not like I saw like on TikTok or somewhere that there's like a way that you can order it. Has anyone else seen that?
I do.
Yeah,
You get
Okay.
the cheese roll up, you add onion and tomato, and then whichever protein you like. I go with steak usually. And they come out to like, I don't know, less than $2 a piece, which was less than the Mexi Melt was.
Oh, there you go.
It's not quite the same because the Mexi Melt had pico de gallo in it instead of just onions and tomatoes, so you're not getting that little bit of cilantro.
Mm.
But it's pretty close. It's about 95% the same.
Yeah. Well, and also down here, so there's no chilito, no chili cheese burrito either anymore. But also down here, this Taco Bell that's the closest one to me that I would go to, it sucks. I don't know. It's just inconsistent. People look like and act like they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm just not into it anymore. Like every once in a while, like my daughter, she'll want it as a treat. She likes it, so we'll go and I'll give it a whirl. Or if I'm out running errands, I'll stop in and I get it. But it is just not. It's not North Carolina Taco Bell's.
Right.
The chili cheese burrito is kind of an interesting thing because it is still on the menu some places. And there's actually a website that has tracked and logged every location in the United States that still has the chili cheese burrito.
So I think it must have been your post that I saw that on. Did you make a post about like secret menu items and how to order it?
I had posted something about, I don't know if it was the Mexi Melt or what, and Ben James had commented about the chili cheese burrito, and I'm like, oh,
yes,
there's a website where you can find it. And he looked, and not a single Taco Bell in Florida has it.
Wow. Yeah. That was the post. So let me give you the credit. So it was you and not TikTok.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a number of them here in Indiana, but they're all an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away from where we live.
Well, Mitch Hedberg had the joke. He said, they have the commercials and they say prices and participation may vary. Mm-hmm. And he says, I want to own a McDonald's and I want to sell spaghetti and meatballs and blankets.
This is the best. Rest in peace.
No, we lost him too early.
Yes.
Yeah. So, see, I said I wasn't going to talk. Damn it!
You've done fine.
So when he used to come to Charlie Goodnight's, and I used to live right by there. My two roommates. This was 03, 04, part of 05. My two roommates worked there, and I was there the night that he didn't show up, and so I always would go in for free. Well, 99% of the time I would go in for free. And they would just let me in the back door, and I'd go and sit and be quiet, order some drinks, and tip real good, behave. And so I was there the night that he didn't show up. Well, the next time he came to town, he was at a different place. It was larger, and he had some guy that played the guitar and sang funny songs. I can't remember the guy's name. But he told the story. He said he fell asleep and they canceled him. Well, a year later, the guy's dead of a drug overdose. And so you sort of go, okay, yeah, you fell asleep, right? But I mean, Mitch Hedberg was my favorite of all time comedian. And I thought he was so hilarious, but he gave you insight to like who he was when he told the joke. He's like, look, I'm a comedian, but they want me to come and be an actor. He goes, I'm not an actor. I'm a comedian, because he was on that 70s show. So it's like, to me, the message I got from that was you got to stay in your wheelhouse, right?
Right.
You can't go out and do stuff that's not what you do. So it's like I'll sit here, we could talk about food, we can talk about fast food. Jason may want to talk about Phillies baseball, and then guess what? I ain't got shit to say because I don't even know. I can't name one active person. So I couldn't contribute in that. I would stay out of it. I wouldn't say, hey, that guy can't throw with a crap. I don't know. I don't even know baseball. So anyway, back to the fast food and the Taco Bells. Let's go back to our childhoods. Who's the oldest here? I'm 48.
I'm probably next. I'm 46.
I'm 43.
Michael's 43.
I'm 37.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah, Jason is just about 3 years older than one of my fast food grudges that I have.
Oh my gosh! Please tell us what that is.
I'm so excited for this. I got to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's a long topic. Let's wait on that for a little bit. But you're talking about kids. Do you guys, any of you, remember when you went from ordering like the Happy Meal or the kids meal to ordering off the regular menu? Like, was there a reason? Were you trying to like be like your dad, or was there a certain menu item that grabbed you and you're like, oh, I gotta try that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this one would actually count as a discontinued item I'd love to see brought back. Mine was the Burger King Burger Buddies when they brought them out in 1990. As a 6-year-old, I loved the idea of, we call them sliders now, but there wasn't really a term for them then.
Right.
I loved the concept as a kid. I'm like, these are like kid-sized burgers. I love this. And that was what drew me away from, that was the first time I ordered of something not on the kids menu.
Gotcha.
I used to like the toys, so I remember if the toy was cool, I'd get the Happy Meal, but I got to be honest, like, I could always eat more than a Happy Meal. I remember the first time I took the plunge and ate the 20-piece nugget, though. I don't know if I was proud of myself or not, but I remember I used sweet and sour sauce, and honey's my jam nowadays, but I remember, just killed the 20-piece when I was a kid, and I was like, kind of proud of myself, but looking back, I'm like, well, there's the road to bullshit right there. The road
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I was so skinny growing up, it didn't matter. I could eat whatever, and then it catches up to you, though, that's for sure.
Boy, I never had that problem. I never was skinny like that. I remember we used to go to Hardee's a lot, like I had said earlier, and my grandpa always got the Big Deluxe, which, I mean, it was just onion, tomato, lettuce, cheese, the works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, onions weren't really a thing I liked then. Pickles weren't really a thing I liked then. But I'm like, boy, he seems to think this is really good. That's what I want. And so that was my favorite fast food item for a long time. What about you, Frankie?
It's interesting that you say that because so when I got my kids, they were 10 and 12. I had a 5th grader and a 7th grader. So Dax, when you posted your picture of your daughter, I was like, man, when I got Andy, she was in the 5th grade, and so I really related. But my son, let's be quiet because he's in his room over there. But he, when I first got him, he had a little pudge on him, and he would always he did not like to eat off the kids' menu. Well, my wife is very frugal, and so she would always tell him, hey, look, you eat off the kids' menu. You underneath the age requirements of the kids' menu, so please eat off the kids' menu. And he would want the big burger. And then and I would tell him, hey, look, that's just too much food, and we would get the McDonald's and I would say, what would you want? And he's like, oh, let me get 2 sausage biscuits and hash browns and a hot chocolate. And I'd say, damn, son, that's too much food. Well, something happened when he got his braces. It was the same time, and this kid has lost 50 pounds in a year.
Wow.
He completely changed his eating habits and I cannot get out of him, like, what happened. And he probably doesn't even know, but something happened to where he said, I'm going to eat like a toddler now. And that's what he's done. So we've had this really big struggle for the last year of trying to get him to eat healthy and not undereat, right? Like he was eating freeze-dried fruit for breakfast, and it's like, come on. And I mean, like, so even today, so he's 16 and he weighs 126 pounds, where he used to weigh 173, and he's grown a couple of inches. So anyway, I can relate with wanting to eat the big boy food, because I went through that with my son, and I'm sure my parents were like, I ate off the kids' menu until they probably would. My parents would have probably told me to lie if somebody asked me. I was probably 14, 15. I mean, I was 5'10" and 116 pounds, so I could have probably got away with it until I started growing that awkward facial hair that that we grow.
Yeah, I had that at 12. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I didn't have to lie, but I definitely had to have my dad with me because, I get the, you're not 10 years. And then my daughter kind of gets that too. But if I'm with her, they understand, like, oh, okay, we get it. Because she's unbelievably big for her age. And maybe she'll make a cameo. She's behind me, but hopefully she'll shut up. Just kidding, honey. But sorry. Sorry, Dags. I hope I didn't talk over you. I'm a mess.
No, you're fine. I want to throw this out there since we're talking about Happy Meals and kids menus. Does anyone else have a spouse that just randomly gets a Happy Meal?
Yes.
Because it drives me out of my mind.
Why?
I think because in my head, the Happy Meal is meant for a child. And my wife is like, I just want a cheeseburger and fries. Well, then get a cheeseburger and get a small fry and a small Coke. Like, you don't have to get the Happy Meal. I don't think you want the apple slices that bad.
Last week we went to Wendy's and Amy couldn't decide what she wanted. And she's like, you know what? Just get me the kids meal. I just want that little sandwich. And they were supposed to come with apple slices, but they were out. So she got strawberries from one of the salads that they have. She's like, boy, they could have given me more strawberries. Those were great. It's like, well, whatever.
Well, what's crazy is my daughter, Andy, she will want a cheeseburger and fries and not want the Happy Meal. And I say, get the Happy Meal. You got to. So I'm the complete opposite of you all. I encourage them to get the free toy. You might like it. You might play with it for 5 minutes, and then we can take it and donate it.
Yeah. The other week, my daughter had her friends over, and I'm like, I'll go get you whatever you want for lunch, and they went to McDonald's. And then Jamie's like, can you get me a Happy Meal too? I was a grown man. I ordered my go-to, which is a double quarter pounder with a high C because that high C is amazing.
Yeah, it is really good.
It is. And I got 4 Happy Meals in the seat beside me. I'm like, they're either going to think I'm super dad or I'm a really creepy dude. Like, there's no in between here.
Very good. Here's a free toy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my kids, I don't think ever got the Happy Meal, let alone my wife. We just thought, we'll just order 10 of everything and then sort it out, I guess.
Ashland used to get the kids meal, but I don't even know how long it's been now. At least 6 years, where she's just like, no,
right.
No, I don't want that. I think part of it was she didn't like the toys a lot of times, and she thought it was kind of a waste.
Yeah. When we were kids, though, they were amazing.
Oh my God, they were fantastic.
And the cookies, remember the cookies? Holy smokes. Mm-hmm. They were like the lamest cookies, but yet the best cookies.
They were good.
They were so good.
Do you remember when they had the little like Transformers style toys in the Happy Meal? Like it was the Chicken McNugget box.
Yes.
Into a robot,
right.
And there was the French fry and the shake. I was just showing those to Ashlyn the other day, and she's like, "Oh, that's neat." I'm like, "You don't even understand. You don't get it."
There was a name for those. What were they called?
Yeah, there was. There was a gimmick whole thing with it. I can't remember.
Oh, that's gonna bother me now.
I know.
Since we're on the McDonald's train, and I'm sorry to jump in here, has anyone ever gotten the Big Mac bundle box?
No, you've told me.
What was it?
So it's 2 Big Macs, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 fries, a 10-piece McNugget, and 2 drinks, and it's like $20.
Wow.
And that tells you how fat I am. So.
No, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, that's doable. I wouldn't feel good about myself, but it's definitely doable in one night.
They were called changeables.
Yeah.
Changeables, right on. Okay.
Man, I love eBay. I won't say I have an addiction because that sounds horrible, but I do every day go on eBay and I look, and it's like, well, Jason, so I saw this Philly hat that was signed, and the person actually had 2 of them. So I bid on it and I got it. I got a hat for Jason. I got a hat for Jamie Ward. And I said, hey, I got you guys these gifts. Just make a donation to the Brothership Joe Christie Memorial sponsorship. And but that's just me. It's like I look at stuff all the time, and I constantly. And if I think it's something from my childhood that I want, then I'll go and I'll get it. I have a bunch of Viewmasters, but
Oh, there you go.
so these I looked up the McDonald's toys, and I think Michael, you were doing the same thing, and it popped up the changeables. But of course, everybody calls them McDonald's Transformers.
Right. All right. Jason mentioned discontinued fast food items, and that
Yes.
I've got 2 pages of stuff here. written
Jeez,
down.
I only got 2 outside of the one I listed. So
I told you it's going to be like Festivus and the airing of grievances. Arby's and Taco Bell are on my shit list, and then some.
Let me see. I've got some notes from Mark Herrick. Let me see if it's time for me to mention those.
I think one was Yub Nub, something like that.
No, that's not it.
No, he walks here.
Yeah. So yeah, his discussion's not yet. So Mark, shout out to Mark. He's a great guy. Had a really good time hanging out with him at the CWF Legends Fanfest. And Jason, we're going to get you there, man. Did you guys listen to Jason's podcast, the NAS Pod? He put me over big time, and it was just really, 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 really nice. And I really, really appreciate that. And he's like, I want to get there. We're going to get you there. You'll get there in the next year or two.
Which episode was that on? I've got it. I'm subscribed. I just haven't started listening yet. I'm terrible about keeping up with podcasts.
that was literally the most recent one that we did.
Yeah.
I was plugging that I was probably going to be on here, and then I just started rolling, and that's unfortunately what I do 90% of the time on the show. Is once I get going, I can't stop.
That's the best part.
And I wasn't. The intent wasn't to put Frankie over, it's just to talk about, in my opinion, how great of a guy he is, because him and his wife do this really awesome thing, and why me, as someone who is part of the group, thinks it's just absolutely fantastic that it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tomorrow.
I wish that we could do more. I mean, my wife, man. Whenever I say my wife, it reminds me of Buddy Landale, because in I think it was '99, Michael Bakikia from High Spots was recording with him and doing a shoot interview, and I was operating the camera with Buddy Landale, and the whole time during the thing, I'm gonna laugh, and So Buddy showed up with this redheaded girl they were from Salisbury, and he had came from Tennessee, stayed at this girl's house and with her mom, and he had said that she was big wrestling fans and always took care of the boys when they came through the area or whatever. And Michael, do you remember those girls that showed up at the Ricky Morton thing?
Oh yeah.
That redhead might have been her. I don't know. I'm telling you, seriously.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so he shows up with her, and I swear, Buddy looks like he's got on eyeliner. I'll show you guys the picture sometime. And he shows up with her, and he stayed at her house the night before. They went out to a bar. They talked about this stuff, and he got up on stage, sang with the band, right? And then the whole time during this interview, he's saying, "My wife, God love her. She's just the best thing. Oh, she put up with me. My wife, God love her." So me, it's like when I'm talking about my wife and Jana and helping out with the fan fest and whatever, I always think back to Buddy. Always, during this interview, whether it was guilt or what, he's just like, my wife, she's the best thing, God love her. She put up with me. God love her. And it's like, I feel that way about my wife, is that, tonight she asked me, she says, well, I guess we need to go ahead and book the other room for the other guy that we're going to bring. And I said, okay, we will. So, yeah, I will just put that out there now. We're bringing a second person. And if you haven't heard, if I haven't announced it, then it might be the first one, but it's Dave Jordan. And if you guys could keep that under the wraps until the podcast comes out, I'd appreciate it, because no one knows yet. But it's going to be Dave Jordan, and we're about a little more than halfway of our goal right now. But we want to get the best rate, so we're going to go ahead and we'll book it. I have faith in the Brothershippers that they'll, send the money to pay for the other one. And if they don't, so what? Then we'll pay for it. So I'm very blessed to have a wife that is loving and supportive of the Brothership, and just how everybody is, and everybody making her feel welcome, and having great conversations. And I'm so thankful for not just my wife, but the Brothership in general. So I appreciate those things that you said, Jason. It was very, very, very touching, and I'm glad that I'm in a position to help out, and that's why I'm so happy to help out too. I mean, there's a lot of people who have reached out and says, "Oh, I wish I could help out, but I'm just strapped." And trust me, I spent most of my life like that, living paycheck to paycheck, and paying crazy bills that I should never have racked up, but I was not smart enough to do. So I appreciate it. I listened to your podcast, and man, I would listen to every single one of them if I watched sports. If this was 2000 and let's see, I used to watch sports in like 2002, but 2003, 2004, 2005, and then I got burned out because I worked in a sports bar. I was a manager at Fox and Hound, and I got too much damn sports.
I just skip that I don't like. I just listen to them talk about teams I like. That's what I do. Or if Jason's just kind of talking, because it's kind of fun.
So we were talking about discontinued fast food menu items, and Jason hijacked that conversation. I'm kidding. It was
me. Chat me up, brother.
Roll Tide.
Rumor and innuendo.
That's my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
So does anyone have any any other fast food items that were discontinued?
Oh, do I?
Can I throw one in there before you get going, Michael?
Absolutely.
And this one I think is going to hit you near and dear based on a restaurant you've been talking about. I want Hardee's to bring back their fried chicken.
That is on my list, sir. Their early 90s menu in general, when they had the big roast beef sandwich.
But they still have the roast beef sandwich here.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, though, I don't think. I don't know. The Roy Rogers fried chicken, that just everything, the burgers that they had then, everything was so great. I mean, they were the first place with curly fries, as far as I know. I mean, we didn't get an Arby's till a lot later, so maybe they were first. But Hardee's was the first one I knew. With I think they were crispy curls.
I think you're right.
Maybe. But yeah, that time period when they had the Roy Rogers fried chicken, you couldn't beat that place.
I know. It was awesome.
And you just had such a variety.
Yes.
The hot ham and cheese, the roast beef, burgers, the fried chicken, the pizza pockets. Do you remember those?
Vaguely. I always got either the roast beef or the fried chicken or a burger as a kid. And I still have some of my California Raisins Hardee's toys.
Greens. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember those.
I had a ton of those, and I probably sold them at a yard sale because I was so damn poor. But my mom has always collected like toys from fast food places.
Yeah, my parents do too. The whole kitchen, like the top trim, is lined up with old McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
Nice.
It's weird, but kind of it's kind of interesting.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So those California raisins came out like 88.
Yes.
So I got my driver's license in 89, just to throw some perspective out there.
Wow. You're old.
Man, I'm telling you, I feel it every single day. One quick story. We donate a lot of stuff, and we had this day bed that was really, really nice that came with the house. Janet bought this house furnished, and she wanted to get rid of it, so we posted it online for sale, like $450, and no one took it. So we did $350, went to $250, and then it sat there for like 4 weeks, and no one wanted this thing. So I said, well, let's donate it to this place that is owned by a girl that went to school with my daughter, and they do animal rescue. These people do crazy animal rescue. So they get up in the middle of the night, drive 4 or 5 hours to get the dog, take this dog that who knows what, and they take care of it, whatever. And then plus the dad of this family just passed. So you can't imagine being, a 14-year-old girl and your dad passing. And so we always, like, if we have leftover stuff, that we try to take it to them first. So my wife's like, you just want to give it to the Solid Charm. This is a nice day bed. Like, it's like solid wood, nice. It's not like, stuff from China put together, screws and whatever. It's really nice. And so finally I said, yeah, sure. Let's donate the Fluffs here in Seminole. And so we carried this thing out and took all the stuff off of it so that it would be manageable, like the pillows. And I realized that the pillows were what was making it so heavy. And I forgot where I was going with this story. How did I start this story? Somebody help me. No? So anyway, we carried this thing out, and it's sitting on our porch right now, wrapped in tarps, because my wife was like, even though we're donating it, she wants to make sure that's protected from the moisture here in Florida. And we have to carry this thing around the house. So me, my wife, 2 kids, carry this thing around, cover it up. And then the living room is just stacked full of the stuff. But I forgot how I got on donating stuff. But that's donating that we just did today.
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I was pissed
Because
off.
I called you old, that's where it got started.
Yes, it did start with that.
It was
How did I go from getting called old?
I don't know. You said you felt
I know why. I know why. So I was pissed off. Here, I'll tell you why. I'm sorry. So I was pissed off because I did not want to move this thing, and I did not want to, after we moved it around, I was like, oh, great, my work is done. I did not want to wrap this thing up in tarps and then plastic wrap because my back hurt, and I knew I was going to be up recording with you guys. So I wanted to lay down and relax because I'm old. That's where I was going with that. So yes, sometimes we do like nice things, like help a brother ship her out. Sometimes we just want to lay down and like be old. Just want to be old and just let the bones lay on the bed. So any more discontinued fast food items?
Let's get that list, Mikey.
Yeah, so we're on Hardee's. I'm going to go through this. They no longer have the cinnamon raisin biscuits.
Oh man,
Those were the
last
best
thing I'm gonna say.
things
I'm gonna shut up. So when I was in 10th grade, just got my license. I would pick up this guy that was on my wrestling team, and every morning for maybe about 3 weeks. So it was definitely before wrestling season. I would eat a cinnamon raisin biscuit for breakfast. Those things were absolutely amazing.
Yes, and they don't have them anymore. I don't understand why.
Is that recent that they don't have them?
It's been at least a few years, because I remember Ashley and I having to take Amy to the airport to travel somewhere for work, and that was our thing. When we would take her to Indianapolis and drop her off at the airport, when we'd head home, we'd drive through the next town over from us that has a Hardee's, and we would stop and get breakfast, and we would always get cinnamon raisin biscuits to bring home. And then just one time, they're gone.
The one in Wilmington, I'm going to guess the year of 2016, 17, 18. They had them, but limited time only.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's one of the best breakfast items at any fast food place ever. They were so good. The other thing I have there is the bacon burger. Does anybody remember that?
Nope.
This was after they went to the $6 burgers. And this was, they took the top bun, coated it in mayonnaise, and then completely covered it in crumbled bacon. And then there were like 3 strips of bacon on the burger as well.
Okay.
It
I
was
can get down with
fantastic.
that.
Yeah. And then the last thing I have for Hardee's is the original Monster Burger, which they have a Monster Burger now, but it's just on a regular hamburger bun. The original one was on like a seated sub bun, and it was 2 patties side by side,
Okay.
and your cheese and your bacon. And they also had a monster roast beef just like that, and it was fantastic. And one of the times that they went through and completely changed the entire menu over, that disappeared.
So Hardee's first $6 burger came out in 2001, and then they re-released it in 2009.
Okay, that sounds about right. It was probably 2002, 2003 when I was getting the bacon burger, because they were the only place here that was open 24 hours at the time. So if I'd been out at the bar until 3 in the morning, I could swing through Hardee's on the way home, grab one of those bacon burgers, and eat that before going to bed and getting up 6 hours later to go to work.
I don't remember a Hardee's being open 24 hours.
Ours was open for a long time. It was open 24 hours. And then the people that owned the lot that it was on sold it to an O'Reilly's. So our Hardee's is gone.
Where does Hardee's end and Carl's Jr. begin? Does anybody know?
I don't know if it's Mississippi River that divides it or what exactly. I don't know where the divide is. I just know West Coast is Carl's Jr.
Is it the same menu?
Pretty much, although the closest Hardee's to us is a Hardee's Red Burrito. So they have some Mexican food items. It's not great. It's kind of...
Sounds like a dog penis. Nobody cut the eggs.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Jackson did that. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we don't have Hardee's around us anymore either. I think the closest one is, God, I want to say, the last one I went to was in Toronto, for goodness sakes. And that's when I lived in Buffalo. That was years ago, but I don't even know the closest one here. It sucks because they used to be fantastic, but I haven't been to one in forever.
Used to drive every day to and from work. On that lovely hour drive to and from work we had before work home became a thing. But every now and then I convince James to stop at that one for breakfast. And man, those biscuits never disappoint.
Nope. Best fast food biscuits outside of Bojangles, I would say.
Those biscuits, man.
That's a magical thing.
Wow, outside of Bojangles. Wow, that's...
I think the Bojangles biscuits are the best I've had in a fast food place. Hardee's would come in second for me.
Hardee's are very good.
Yeah.
I used to get at Hardee's. I used to get the biscuits and gravy, and that's like the only fast food biscuits and gravy that I'll get. McDonald's sucks. I've gotten it once or twice because I forgot that I'd gotten it and it was horrible. But Hardee's is like a sit-down restaurant style. I mean, like it is that good. I mean, does not taste like, and I know they probably, however, whatever, they cook it and got the mix and got the sausage or whatever, and then they just dump it on top of the thing. I don't care. It tastes amazing. The gravy and the biscuits.
Yeah. Well, that biscuit quality probably plays a lot into that too, I would think.
I would believe that.
I actually think they still make their biscuits fresh every day too. I don't think they're shipped in biscuits. I think they're,
and that's a big difference.
Wasn't there a commercial that was like about some old lady getting up and making biscuits every morning?
I think so. It sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't eat fast food much in Wilmington. I say that, but I ate a ton. But I went into the Hardee's. There was one that was on one side of the town, and I went in that side of town and got the most amazing service for fast food. You know, because you think fast food is just usually, may I take your order? Okay, great. I don't remember what particulars happened, but I wrote in a thank you to, because in restaurants everybody wants to complain about whatever, right? No one wants to like send a letter to corporate and say, I just want to tell you that these people are doing great. So I try to, when I think about it and it happens, I try and send those letters in. So I did, and Hardee's wrote back and they sent me a coupon. They put me on the mailing list, and it's like, I'm sorry, I just don't need to know about every Hardee's promotion coming up.
But maybe you do. You don't know. You could be wrong. You might need to know every single one of them. So Jason mentioned the Burger Buddies from Burger King. This is one of my shorter lists. The Cinnaminnies.
Okay.
Those were always a solid breakfast option.
True.
And then the other two things I have there, they're pretty similar. The BK Broiler, which they then replaced with the Chicken Whopper.
Hell yeah, yes.
Those were both so good. And whatever crap they're peddling now, I don't even know if they still have a grilled chicken sandwich.
What was it?
The original one was the BK Broiler.
It was grilled chicken
sandwich. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
It was really good.
And then they replaced it with the Chicken Whopper, and it was still pretty good. And then they replaced it again, trying to make it more upscale, and it was not very good, and it did not do very well.
Yeah.
So the ones down here do not have a grilled chicken because we went through there. The wife and I have been doing the Noom, and we had we've been eating the Impossible Whoppers. I think they're 520 calories. And we went through the drive-thru the other day, and they were out of chicken fries, which my daughter wanted. And so my son, because he's very health conscious at his 125 pounds, he asked about grilled chicken, and they did not have any. And so he said...
And they discontinued it.
So they had the chicken. They had the chicken. And they were out of the spicy chicken. I mean, the regular chicken, but they had the spicy chicken.
All right. Now, Jason, I know you've got some other discontinued items.
I just got one more. I miss the Arch Deluxe from McDonald's. I thought that was a fantastic burger. And it's definitely one that if they brought it back, I'd be in line to get one immediately.
I remember.
What was it?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the commercial's probably what's going to be remembered more. So the commercial was a young boy and a young girl. I would probably put them preteen age. and the boy's eating like this sloppy burger, and he's a big mess. And then there's this dainty girl, very refined, eating the Arch Deluxe, and the Arch Deluxe was built as like the adult burger at McDonald's.
Okay.
And I think it had like a peppercorn sauce and bacon, and it was definitely a different burger for McDonald's. But I remember having it and thinking it was fantastic.
I'm not sure if I ever tried it. I'm kind of disappointed now because that sounds really good.
Oh, so it had a Dijonaise.
That's what it was.
There you
Yeah,
That's
portmanteau of Dijon mustard and mayonnaise. And it was on a split top potato flour sesame seed bun, topped with a circular piece of peppered bacon, leaf lettuce, tomato, American cheese, onions, ketchup, and Dijonaise.
Why in the hell did I never have this?
It was fantastic.
I feel like an idiot.
And so it came out in, what was the year that I saw?
96.
96? I think that was. It ended in 6.
Okay, picture it. Indiana, 1988. Jason, you were...
It's like 5. Just kid, buddy.
3 or 4, depending on the month, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
McDonald's came out with the cheddar melt.
Oh.
It was their version of a patty melt. It had a rye bun, which was phenomenal, cheddar cheese sauce, and grilled onions. Very similar to the grilled onions that are on the steak, egg, and cheese bagel that they just brought back, because that would have been on my list. It was a fantastic sandwich. And from what I've read, I guess they were going through and trying a number of different type sandwiches at that point. And I guess it just didn't sell enough. But boy, was it good.
So, I want to say around like 97, the at the time local McDonald's, because now we got one much closer. It was owned by a friend of mine's parents. And he told me that they were going to be testing a new burger, and it was the cheddar melt. So in 97, they were testing it again in 97.
And they didn't bring it back. That breaks my heart.
They had to have been super regional, because I've never seen anything about it, but I can tell you when I was 12, I remember seeing ads for it in that McDonald's and trying.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember it myself. It sounds great, but I don't remember it.
It was good. The other big thing from McDonald's, and this was such a genius thing, but you can't do it now because of no styrofoam, was the McDLT.
I was just going to bring that up. That was the one that was half cold, right?
Yes, the hot stays hot and the cold stays cold.
Yeah.
Jason Alexander was in the commercial for that.
That's right.
Singing and dancing. It was perfect because your lettuce wasn't getting soggy from the heat from the burger.
Well, will you describe what they did?
Well, it was a 2-compartment styrofoam container, and the bottom bun and the burger were on one side. And I never did understand why the cheese wasn't on that side. That seemed a little odd to me. The cheese was usually on the side with your mayonnaise and ketchup, lettuce, tomato, onion. That was on the other side then. And so you would put the sandwich together when you were ready to eat it. I mean, it's not such a big deal if you're dining in, but if you were getting it to go and running, 15, 20 minutes home, that made a big difference in the quality.
So was it like a clamshell that had like a layer in between?
Yeah, kind of. It was a styrofoam sort of deal.
It was like the bottom tray it was attached to the middle and just had 2 separate compartments.
Oh, I got you.
And then just the lid fit down over the top and popped in on each end, had the little tabs.
So it was sort of like the hotcakes and sausage.
Sort of, yeah, except it was divided there in the middle.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
so it was styrofoam.
I'm glad you said that, Frankie. And I'm going to fantasy book this a little bit. Couldn't they bring it back with a plastic container like they do the big breakfast?
They probably could.
I think
I haven't got the big breakfast for a while. Is it divided at all?
No, but I mean, you could easily get something made that is divided to
Right.
fit the purpose of the McDLT.
Yeah, it would be worth doing, but they replaced it with the McLean, which
I
is
remember
a
that.
healthier version. And then I think when that got scrapped, maybe that's when they brought in the Big and Tasty, something like that. I don't know. I was just unhappy that the McDLT was gone because the McLean was not nearly as good.
I'm going to say really stupid here in a second. So let me go ahead and do it. So there's no styrofoam in fast food restaurants now?
No.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's either
Damn,
foil paper or just like kind of a waxy parchment type paper.
is that a rule?
I think they
Just environmental consciousness.
Yeah, just kind of going with the flow with the Earth Day stuff.
Yeah, or
I know
a
they use,
lot of places have the cardboard boxes too.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
piece stuff that's all squished together. That's it's not styrofoam at all, but it's not cardboard. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Damn, I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's been a long time too. I want to say it's been at least 15 years, maybe 20,
Yeah,
since most places, stopped with that.
Yeah.
Damn. I am clueless. All right, Ariel, we are back from having a wonderful conversation with 4 handsome brother shippers. That would be Jason D'Agostino, also known as Sexy Conrad. No. Yeah, Sexy Conrad. William Meriwether, the 7-foot-tall William Meriwether, and the handsome boy modeling school graduate Michael Herrick.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh man, that was good. That was a good one.
I know, right?
Well,
Yeah,
what a fun conversation, though.
Yeah. We're all talking about fast food. I hope I didn't talk too much, but if I did, damn it, there I go again.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's your show.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be. I just kind of want to. I sort of kind of lead the horse through the stable. I don't want it to be me singing and dancing the whole way. But this past week on Broken Kayfabe with Baljan and Barry, they talked about secret restaurant menus, and it made me think of some secret menus that I have seen. But before we get there, they also talked about Red Robin. Have you had the Red Robin before, Ariel?
Yes, I have. I actually had Red Robin a month or two ago. It's a pretty good place. I like it. It's very consistent. I love the bottomless fries and the I wish they had topless waitresses, but get it, bottomless, top, never mind.
Oh yeah, that's what you did there.
Flew right over our heads. But they have very good burgers. They have great steak fries with that seasoning that Barry talked about. I may or may not have taken a bottle or two once before, but I'm not gonna say. And their freckled lemonade is really good. But yeah, I heard they had a secret menu or a secret little side ghost business going on.
Yeah. So what was it called? Freshly something?
Fresh set or something like that.
Fresh set.
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What's your favorite sandwich to get there?
Okay, so let's see. I think it's one of my go-tos is I think the Red Robin Royal. I think that's what it's called. The one with the egg on it. It's like a deluxe cheeseburger with a fried egg on top.
Oh yeah.
And then depending on my mood, I usually the second one I get is probably the Swiss and mushroom burger because I love like mushrooms. And yeah, Sometimes if they do have like some sort of special or a new item going on, I'll try it. But usually my go-to is the Royal and the Swiss mushroom burger. How about you?
The Royal. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up here real quick. Let's see if it gives me. So here's the Royal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Steak fries. Blah 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 blah. You get hardwood smoked bacon. I know you're a fan of the hardwood. Egg, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. So bacon, egg, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I did once. Speaking of like secret menus, you can add extra patties to your burgers. Right? That goes for their monster patty, the larger patty. And I did a 5-patty monster patty Red Robin burger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was the funny thing was the manager and the cook that prepared the burger came out to see what kind of fat ass ordered this monstrosity of a burger. And they, I met them, they came to my table, and for me it was kind of awkward because I was like, oh, well, I mean, I'm hungry, but I wanted to see if I could do this. And they said they were going to take they're going to take a picture of it and send it to corporate.
Wow.
So yeah, but for what? I don't know. I mean, whatever. Maybe they could just say like, hey, this weirdo ordered 5 monster patties on a burger, and
he'll probably be suing.
Probably. So be prepared. Get lawyer up. Yeah, and actually, the last time I was there, they had pizza. There's what was the brand called? See, my Red Robin doesn't have like I guess it was called Fresh Set or something.
Yeah, Fresh Set. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Or I didn't notice that on the menu, but they did have a pizza, like I guess a pizza chain or quote unquote chain or ghost business within the restaurant called, I think it was called Donatos.
How you think you spell that?
Let me try to. I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to.
Donatos. Yeah, I found a Donatos pizza.
Is that the one? And
Donatos, Donato's Peace and Love Days pizza. They got the chicken bacon ranch salad.
Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I see like a cinnamon sugar towering dough ring. You know how they have the tower of onion rings?
Yeah.
They have a cinnamon and sugar croissant donut ring tower at my Red Robin. Yeah, it's a Donato's pizza, and it's not that great. It's a thin crust pizza cut in squares, I guess tavern style.
Yeah.
And it was all right, for that kind of pizza. I wouldn't take it over the burgers. And it was okay, but that's their, I guess, another ghost business that they have, at least for my area, is the Donato's pizza.
So there's another one here. So I'm on the Fresh Set website, and they have Chicken Sammy's, and then they also say the wing department. However, when you click on the wing department website, it brings you to a website that is not set up yet.
Oh, okay. So it's fairly new, I guess.
It says, sorry, these wings have up and flown away.
Oh, maybe they stopped.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but Chicken Sammy's looks like it's up and going. They've got the milkshakes, chicken sandwiches. And maybe all of those Red Robins, maybe they don't do it. Let's see, Brandon, St. Pete, maybe they do. Oh, Dash Pass. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. Yeah. So look, it takes you to DoorDash.
Okay.
So let me tell you about my favorite burger at the Red Robin, and then we'll talk about some of these ghost brands.
Sure.
So my favorite is the Bonsai burger, and I just had one maybe last week, teriyaki glazed patty with grilled pineapple. I love grilled pineapple with a burger patty. Absolutely love it. Cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise. My favorite burger by far, my combination of the grilled burger and the pineapples grilled, amazing. And Jen and I, when we get burgers these days, we get the Impossible burger if possible. The Impossible if possible. While I was in the hospital this weekend, one of the nurses says, well, it's not that much, not really better for you because it has a lot of sodium. But Jen and I spoke after she left because it is about half the calories of a regular burger. And so we eat low sodium anyway. So it's actually kind of a wash, right? So I would much rather have the extra sodium and the lower calories. So that's what we go with. That's our choice. Hey, I'm not telling you should do it. It may not work for you, but it works for us, and we love it. And we don't eat out very often, and we definitely don't eat burgers very often. But when we do, we are A-okay with the Impossibles. And I've dropped some LB, so I'm happy with what I've been doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the Impossible Burger. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
At first, it was really expensive to buy at the store, but it seems like there's a lot other like other types of plant-based burgers on the market now.
More options. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's totally cool with me too. There are some that like I remember there's when I started like losing weight and everything like that, I used to get I think it was like the Morningstar brand, and they had the Grillers plant-based patties. Oh, I love those. Those are really good too. I don't know. I don't see them around anymore, or maybe I'm not looking hard enough. But I remember
Morningstar like chicken tenders or chicken patties. Garden Inn or Gardein is another brand that we get, which is we get the fake chicken, and it's delicious, and it's working for us. And if you don't give a shit about the calories or whatever, then I say chow up on the real thing. But for us, it's help. We're both down. So
yeah. That being said, you saw my In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
Day, right. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, it's something that you could do, or I could do once in a while, on those special occasions. But just like we will get an Impossible Whopper from Burger King, but it might be once every 3 weeks.
Right.
And then, if we've got the kids, then we'll do like the Red Robin. And the Red Robin here, speaking of secret menus, has the Mr. Beast burger. I'm sure being a YouTube aficionado, you know about the Mr. Beast.
I know of Mr. Beast. I haven't seen any of his stuff. I'm not really a YouTube I'm not really.
Well, when I said, "Hey, have you seen on TV?" You said, "Well, I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of YouTube." So that's why. I said that.
Yeah, but it's usually like food related. Okay, Mr. Yeah, just a lot of food related stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my daughter, we found that you can, Mr. Beast with his burger brand, he'll pair up with the kitchen. So, and you can DoorDash it. You can't call in and order there. So you go on DoorDash, Mr. Beast Burgers, you can find places that you can get it and get it delivered. So my daughter's a fan. And so we got them, and we got the Impossible meat from there. And we were like, oh, that's really cool. And then we noticed that it came from Red Robin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And so
Um,
what it's a deal that he sets up, where, hey, store, you want some extra business? Then you can sell my brand and it'll be on DoorDash. Well, during the pandemic, Jenna and I noticed that we would order something from DoorDash or Uber Eats, and give a plug there to Jeff Baldwin for his Uber eating there. And we noticed that we would order from a place and we would look to see where it was coming from. And it was at the location where another restaurant would be. Like, one of it here was called Katiki. And when we saw where it was being picked up, it was being picked up from a place here called Angry Pepper. Different menu. A couple things were very similar, but we were like, oh man, they're running like basically a ghost business on the DoorDash. I'm not sure how that is an advantage to them, but maybe it's just having different products or something different than what their brand would carry. And we thought, oh, that is really cool. And then now we're seeing it with different places running. When we've looked on DoorDash, and we'll look it up and see where it's actually coming from. And we're like, oh, that's really the Red Robin, or that's Portillo's or whatever. And they're running this sort of side hustle out of their place where they can offer things that are not consistent with their branding. And we think that's really cool.
Yeah, over here, there's places that actually ran out entire kitchens, like not kitchens within a restaurant, but like a industrial kitchen, ghost kitchens, and you get like several restaurants or small setups of restaurants in one building, and they share like the kitchen. So over here, if you for instance, I DoorDash something and I see the address as Rough Drive, RUFF Drive, that's the location of one of the larger industrial kitchens that gets rented out to all these little businesses that operate out of there. And it's all the same address, but there's like 5, 6, 7 restaurants or food establishments that rent that place and cook their food and have it come out from there. So that's pretty cool too. Instead of just trying to partner up with Red Robin or so, they already have their own little kitchen that they can operate from, that they rent, and other businesses rent that some kitchen space too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. So that is our talk on secret menus. We'd like to hear from you. What secret menus do you have at places? You got the fresh set at the Red Robin, which also your Red Robin might also be hustling Mr. Beast burgers out of the back.
Or Donato's Pizza, yeah.
Or Donato's Pizza. What's some that are near you? Let's hear it. And the Facebook group, Ricky Cavo, Baldwin, and Barry. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Before we go, let me just say thank you again to Jason D'Agostino, Sexy Conrad. He's got a couple podcasts. Please go give them a listen. We talk about them on there. So one of them is Not Another Sports Podcast. NASPod is how you can find that, NASPOD. He's got some really cool merch, so go give him a listen and support him. He's got all of his stuff on the YouTube. So if you listen to YouTube or watch YouTube, like Ariel, I'm sure he mentioned some food in there, so that might be great for you.
Yeah.
He's also got one that's Pock Pump, and he's also got another one that is Philly Baseball Together. It's part of a whole other network where they talk about Phillies baseball. So if you listen and you love Phillies baseball, go give that one a listen. The 7 foot tall William Meriwether. And then Michael Herrick, one of my favorite brother shippers of all time. Super, super, super nice guy. And we have awesome chats about anything and everything. And I know you and Michael have exchanged some gifts from time to time. So he is an awesome dude. So thank those guys for providing us with some good conversation and some entertainment. Hey, CWF Legends Fanfest, it'll change your life. So if you can make it down there, November the 5th, you'll meet such legends as Magnum TA, Bill Apter, who was not a wrestler, but he is iconic. This man is iconic because it was not his magazines. He was just merely a photographer and a writer, but they're called the Apter Mags. So, it's like the equivalent of Ariel working that one day and Dunkin' Donuts, and that's where you worked, right?
No.
What was it?
It was Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe, working that
Yeah.
one day at Cup of Joe's, and then everybody calling it Cup of Ariel. They just changed the name of it to Cup of Ariel because he was so great that one day. So I'm super excited about meeting him and former NWA heavyweight champion Dory Funk Jr.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I want to thank Ariel for being here with me and putting up with this crazy chaotic scheduling that we got, because he's West Coast, I'm East Coast. I am Florida man. Thank you.
I'm California boy. Florida man and Cali boy. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
That's good. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you all for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.